Thank you for downloading another edition of the Saturday Drop-In from Highland Hospital Radio. No Shannon again, but the good news is I've got Karen with me. Hi, Karen.
Hello.
We have got a brilliant show coming up for you. All your usual features of Guess the Year, Beat Detective. This or That is tied in with our guests. Who did we have in the studio today?
We have got.
We have. Shh, don't tell anybody, but we're recording this after. Who have we got?
We have got the people from the Florentines. I want to see them calling them the Florentines more, and I keep saying to me, it's not the Florentines,
It's
ma'am.
the Florians.
She said, don't say that when you're on the radio.
And they're in to tell us all about their forthcoming production of Dial M for Murder, and they stuck around to play a nice stage or screen-based edition of This or That. Don't forget, you can always get in touch with us by emailing socials@hhr.scot, and we'll get that anytime, and you can always listen live every Saturday from midday. But we'll let you enjoy this week's edition, and we'll say cheerio at the end, so enjoy.
Enjoy. So up next, what we've got is my first song from the year, and this was the reason I actually chose the year, because this is the song. If you go on our website hhr.scot, you'll see a bit about Meet the Team, and this is the song that I put as just my favourite song ever, because I have so many happy memories of it, of my children being young and dancing to this and wanting to take them to see Busted, and then when they reformed we went to see Busted, and this is the song that they play as an encore. I have got some real images in my head from that song, please, including my girls in their PJs doing some air guitar and jumping off the settee.
I'm bamboozled already, and our guests were having there's a split opinion. I think it's like a 4-way split at the moment here in the studio. But have you got some clues for us to help us out?
I have got some clues. So this was the year that Facebook was launched. It was also the debut of some certain TV programmes, including Lost. I watched the start of Lost. I wished I hadn't stayed all the series of Lost with it.
Well, was it not the last one was sort of... they literally did get lost and didn't know what to do, so it was
I
kind of...
didn't understand what happened at all. Desperate Housewives started, and we're not talking about the Desperate Housewives as it is now, where it's some sort of reality show-ish. But the actual ones with Terry Hatcher and all that.
Oh, right. Well, Terry Hatcher, yeah.
ITV, their biggest programme, 16.3 million people tuned in to see Karen and Steve McDonald get married. That's Karen McDonald, who's Suran Jones, who's an amazing actress.
Is this Coronation Street?
Yep.
Right, see, you've lost me now.
Mm-hmm. What else have I got? I really struggled to find people I knew the names of who were born this year. The only one I could find was Millie Bobby Brown. Didn't recognise anybody else who was born this year.
That's Stranger Things actor?
Yep.
Right, okay.
This was the year that the Strictly Come Dancing in its present form started, and I'm going to give you a really big clue here. The Olympics were held in Athens.
Right, we've got it now then. So, well, somebody was right in the studio. I'm going to have to change my answer because I'm getting a Ken Bruce-esque t-shirt, and as for some of the other guesses, well, we'll just have to hang our heads in shame. Well, we have another song from the year, Karen. What we got?
Absolutely. We've got Anastasia and Left Outside Alone.
That one just kind of finished there. Sorry, I was confused.
That's a sing-along song in the car.
It was a good one, yeah. Anastasia and Left Outside Alone, all from our mystery year. We've had a few guesses coming into the studio at hhr.scot, also on our social media channels as well. Well, Karen, do you want to put us out of our misery? I think we were all a bit confused until we got to the final clue, which, of course, the Olympics always gives it away.
Yep, it was 2004.
So well done to everyone. Nobody got it wrong who messaged us. There was a few wrong answers in the studio. I was one of them. But our guests who are coming up in a moment, we've got Alison, Trevor and Andy here in the studio from the Florians. And I think we have to give full credit to Andy because he was bang on with 2000.
Very early on.
And it was, there was no Olympic clue when Andy came out. I think it was just based on Busted. Clearly a Busted fan. Big Busted fan. That's what it is. Well, we're going to be speaking to them. One more song from 2004. We're going to have some Lamar. The Florians are joining us live on the air after this. If you want to get in touch and ask them a question, to save me doing it, studio@hhr.scot. Now, joining us here in the studio is our good friends from the Florians Theatre. In fact, I think we can call them friends of the Saturday Drop-In because it's the second visit of the Florians. The team from the Florians Theatre here, the Florians Theatre based at Buck Park, was established over 80 years ago, originally to entertain troops based in Inverness during the Second World War, and it's continuing to provide entertainment to the wider community ever since. Fresh from the success of the previous production of Get Up and Tie Your Fingers, about the herring lasses of the east coast of Scotland, and they came in and spoke to us about that. Check out the podcast. They are returning with their latest production from next month, Dial M for Murder. This was first performed as a television play on the BBC in 1952 before moving on to London's West End, and in 1954 it was adapted by Alfred Hitchcock into a feature film. The play, written by an English playwright, Frederick Knott, centres on, now I'm not going to give too much away here, a retired tennis professional, a wealthy socialite, another man, and later the investigative prowess of Chief Inspector Hubbard. I don't think I've given too much away there. Joining us to tell us all about the production is Andy Pyatt, who plays Chief Inspector Hubbard, Alison Ozog, who plays the wealthy socialite Margot, and the play's director Trevor Nichol. Everyone, thank you so much for coming in to see us today. How are you all?
Yeah, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. So, Trevor, I'll start with yourself. You're the director for this particular production. So, what made you choose to put on Dial M for Murder?
Well, it's a great story. First of all, with our productions, we always try to vary the sort of tone of them, if you like. So we'll have a comedy, we'll have a drama, we'll have a suspense. Just try to mix things up a wee bit. You do the odd Shakespeare as well over the years as well. So it was a great story, and I'd seen the film many years ago, and I was a fan of it, and even. More of a fan when I realised it had originally been a play before it was a film. It's always a difficult when you do something that's been adapted from a film rather than the other way about. You always feel it's a bit. Sometimes it's a bit contrived. When it's been adapted from a film to either a musical or a stage play, whereas this was originally a play. So that was a big attraction. Characters are great in it. Storyline's great, and it's a nice period as well to set.
Well, I was going to ask that question because it's set in the 1950s, and I was wondering if you'd sort of brought it into the modern age, or if you changed the period at all, or if you felt you had to keep it in the correct period.
No, I felt I had to keep it in the 1950s because the death penalty figures in the storyline. So, well, we don't have a death penalty now, so we had to keep it in that period, for sort of continuity.
And with it being a very well-known movie, and the stage play previously, as a director, do you find that is difficult to move away from that influence, to do it your own way, or to adapt it in some way, or to find yourself not just copying what's already been done before if you're putting on a play in this day?
Yeah, I mean, obviously if you've seen the film, it can be quite tricky, but you have to try and put that aside and just read the script. I mean, that's where to go really, because it's I don't know if you know, but when you get a script, a printed script from the publishers, there are moves written down in the script, and a lot of people, inexperienced actors who haven't maybe done much, will say, "Oh, it says here I have to move over here or whatever," and it's just to forget about that. The moves in the script are from a previous production, and it just happened to be written down in the script that way. We can take it apart and do whatever we want with it, really, and not be too sort of bound down by what it says in the script in terms of moves. Obviously, the script, the dialogue is usually sacrosanct. You have to stick with that. But as far as the moves are concerned, you can do your own thing really, and it's often kind of dictated as well by your theatre or your performing space. Because you might not necessarily be able to do things in the script that you're kind of restricted by what your performance space is.
And that must be quite interesting how you have to maybe adapt certain scenes to fit the space that you've got. Particularly at the Florians, it's a lovely intimate theatre, so you've maybe not got the vast expanses that you might want. But how many scenes are there actually? I'm curious. How many different changes that we're going to see when we come along and see the show?
Well, there are a lot of scene changes actually in this, which I'm not a big fan of. When I usually when I look for a play that I want to direct, I want to find one with as few scenes as possible, because I do feel that when you have a scene change, it kind of breaks things up a bit. But we're trying to make the scene changes as quick as possible. So the first act has 2 scenes. It's actually a 3-acter, which is quite common with older plays. More recent plays tend to be just 2 acts. So we've got two scenes in the first act. We've got 3 scenes in the second act, and then the third act is just 1 scene. It's 1 big scene.
Now, you're flanked either side of you here by Alison and Andy. Alison, you've been involved with the Florians for quite some time.
Yeah.
You've taken wee pauses to move around the different theatre companies around Inverness. What's brought you back on this occasion? Was it the play itself, or did you just think, no, I'm in the mood for doing maybe a more serious play or this particular style? What was it that brought you back to come and do this particular play?
I think I just wanted to do a play because I've done musicals now for the last couple of years, and I do really enjoy a musical, but I think I started out with musical theatre when I moved here, and it wasn't until I got involved with the Florians that I just did a couple of straight plays, and I think it really helps to bring on your acting skills if you do a play instead of a musical. And I really enjoy getting into a good gripping story. I like a drama. So yeah, I'm not doing anything else musical at the moment, so I thought I'd give the Florians another go.
And were you sort of always deciding I'm going to go for whatever the leading role is for the current play, or was it this character that specifically drew you? Which came first, just the decision I'm going to go and do something serious, or they're doing Dial M for Murder, I'm going to go for that?
Well, I didn't actually know the play when I first heard about it, so I watched the film that's got Grace Kelly in it, and I really liked the story. I thought it was good. So I had been sort of humming and hawing about it for a while, but there is only also 1 female part in it, so that was kind of there wasn't really much choice.
I get that. Must be quite a challenging role to play, because as Trevor's already alluded to, that the death penalty features, and it features heavily for your character Margot.
Yeah.
How does that feel to try and portray that?
There is a scene in it that's quite a difficult scene to do. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, so I won't give too much away, but it's a hard scene to portray because it's quite a dark scene, and to try and make it look realistic but also not be dangerous for me or the other person in the scene is quite challenging. But I know it's fun. It's a good challenge. I like a challenge.
I think you've set that up really well there. That drew us. I leaned right into the microphone there. And yeah, so you say it's that you were limited female roles in this play on this particular occasion, but over to Andy, who is going to play the role of Chief Inspector Hubbard. Andy, what's your involvement with the Florians up until now? How many plays have you done with the group?
I joined the Florians a year ago. I've done a couple of performances with them. I had a small part in Allo Allo last September, and then in the pantomime. And that to date has been my experience, just doing comedic roles and playing the fool. And this is my first attempt ever at having a larger part and a serious part. So I'm very grateful to Trevor for keeping me in check and giving me adequate direction when I start to go a bit off-piste and start veering towards the melodrama of comedy.
How are you finding it? Because it must be really... It's very different. Obviously, you've not actually performed it in front of the audience yet. That's at the beginning of next month. But your comedy roles, you've mentioned pantomime, and of course pantomime's, it's a two-way street, isn't it? You're expecting something from the crowd, and when you're doing a comedy, you're hopefully landing the jokes and getting an instant response from the crowd. How do you think it's going to be being on stage, performing it in a completely straight manner, and not getting any feedback from the audience at all?
Well, I think that this is where, if you're keen to develop as an actor, then you've got to take on roles that are going to stretch you, and this is stretching me. It's a bigger role than I've done before, but I'm enjoying the experience and the challenge of taking on something I've not done before.
Alison mentioned that she'd watched the film as part of her preparation. What have you done the same,
No.
or have you deliberately avoided it to make it to only see it your way or Trevor's way?
I deliberately avoided doing that so that it's my interpretation of what it is. I was particularly when I saw the play, and I thought I'd really quite enjoy being able to be the inspector. And what came to mind was Columbo, and also Inspector Gould in J.B. Priestley's An Inspector Calls. And I like the idea of somebody who's a little bit outside of the kind of social milieu of what is going on with the other participants. So somebody who is northern and may not be respected by the others, and they may think that they can pull the wool over his eyes. So that's what I was thinking should be the part.
Like the Columbo reference is quite interesting because again we don't, even though it is over 80 years old, spoiler alert, we don't want to give too much away, but your character does it sort of an unconventional methodology to get to the truth in the end. So would you say that was a direct connection there of again, I'm going back to Columbo that you mentioned there, doing things unorthodox to get the result. Is that how you sort of saw that?
Well, that comes through in the play.
Mm-hmm. And about this play itself, so as I say, it was 1954 that it came out. So in terms of costume and dress, how do you prepare for that? How do you have a full extensive catalogue of things that you can go and grab? How do you actually get all the period pieces to make sure that it looks as authentic as possible, Trevor?
Well, it depends on the period. Luckily, we do have a fair selection of costume from that sort of period, from the 50s, 40s, 50s. So that helps. It also helps to have good people working on costume for you, so that helps as well. But it's a fairly easy period, to costume if you have people who are, sort of conventionally shaped, if you know what I mean. Sometimes you do find with a lot of these, because a lot of the stuff we have is original. It's not made up costume. It's costume. It's actually clothes from the time and even earlier. We have early, material from earlier periods, like Victorian and Edwardian periods, and people were smaller then. That's just a fact. And sometimes it can be really difficult to get people to fit the costumes.
So coming back to that, you talked about the people doing the costumes. So it's not just, there's a big team to put on a production like this.
There's a big team involved in putting on any production, in any play or musical or whatever it is you're doing. So yeah, you have people helping you with costume, people helping you with props, and not least with the staging as well. I mean, the staging, every production we have to have a new set for that, and that has to be built. And the guys we have working on our set are just, they have such great ideas. You give them a problem. I mean, I remember when I directed a production of Barefoot in the Park a few years ago, the Neil Simon play, and I said to the guy who was doing the staging, I says, I want the taps to work, just things like that, throw them a bit. They do like a bit of a challenge, So I'll say things like, I want this or I want that, and you say, yeah, we'll think about that. And generally speaking, they can come up with the goods.
Yep, so we are here with the Florians here on the Saturday Drop-In, and I'm going to come to Alison and say, Alison, how are rehearsals going?
Yeah, they're going pretty well, actually. I think generally this has been quite a smooth rehearsal process. You get quite a variety depending on the show and production team and cast and everything, so this has been pretty smooth. We blocked it relatively smoothly, I think, and we've just been running scenes kind of ever since and tweaking bits as we've been going. I think the only thing that's maybe been a bit dramatic was when Andy ripped a door off the other day.
He doesn't know his own strength.
But apart from that, I
glad to do that in rehearsal, not on the night. I've learnt my lesson.
Amen.
Stop going for the comedic route, Andy. Come on.
How long did you actually have to rehearse for a show like this?
Well, we started normally about 3 months. Yeah. It depends on the production and how much time you've got. But we generally, it's generally about 3 months to rehearse something like this.
And I don't know, have you got any personal views, or how do you get your lines into your head? Do you just learn your own ones and learn your cues? Do you learn the whole play?
Yeah, I think for me the difficulty is often learning the cue. I spend a lot of time trying to perfect the accent and the lines that I've got to give. It's often the clues the cues that trip me up, but yeah, you just got to work at it.
Yourself, Alison?
So I tend to record the other lines and then go quiet and read my lines in my head slow enough that I've got time to say them. So then when I then play it back, I play like the whole play and I have to say the bits where my lines would be. So I get used to hearing the cues all the time. which is a great way to learn it. But then if somebody doesn't give you the right cue, it can sometimes throw you off. But it also, for me, because when I do a play, I really like to know other people's lines pretty well, so that if anything goes wrong on the stage, you can generally try and help people out. So for me, that's the best way to kind of learn the whole play.
So see, when you're recording the other people's lines, do you do it in their voice?
Yeah. I'm not going to show Andy my version of it.
And we were just mentioning off it, how many people are involved, and it's all volunteers, isn't it? Everybody's given up their time to come and do lighting, to do all the sort of stage cues, the curtain call, everything that's involved in that. It's, how many people on a night are working on the play?
In this play, well, you've obviously got the 5 cast, and you've got people backstage and out front, so maybe about a dozen, something like that, because you've obviously got people backstage moving stuff in between scenes and stuff like that, props people and stage management, etc., etc. And then you've got the director who sort of hangs around and just watches it.
See, I was going to say that because on the night itself, there's nothing for you to do. You've done everything up. There must be something quite interesting that the director, you're so involved in the rehearsals and the putting together, the sort of vision of where you want everything to be. But when it comes to actually when the performance starts on the night, there's really not a lot the director can do there and then, is there?
Not by that stage, no. I mean, you obviously watch it every night to see how it's going to go, and if something doesn't quite go according to plan, you sort of inside you kind of tense up, and you think, are they going to get out of this all right? Phew, yes, that was that.
Is there a degree of you watch it on the first night, and would you think about ever making changes, or do you feel that it's sort of nailed down that to make changes would be too disruptive to your actor's performance later on?
By that stage, Tom, I mean, 3 months we've been rehearsing.
Of course, yeah.
Things are pretty much locked down by that. I mean, I've been tinkering with it a wee bit, in recent weeks. Something maybe isn't working right in rehearsals, and you've still got the time at this stage to change things. But generally speaking, you wouldn't be changing anything on the week of the play, unless something really, catastrophic happened that you hadn't foreseen, and then you would maybe think about changing it. But
stronger hinges on doors, maybe.
Yeah.
I just think it takes a certain sort of person to get up there on stage in front of other people and act. I did something very small last year, and absolutely hated it. It was just somebody was doing a fundraiser, short stories and you even had the script in front of you because it was one of those things, and I just didn't like it at all.
See, I agree. We have a bit of fun here because I can do this into a microphone. That's easy. We do our pantomime, so we've done a radio play for the past couple of years, and that's pretty easy because we just do it in the studio next door, and it's a group of
it's
friends,
a good laugh,
and we have fun about it. But to do it on stage, I think that's a different thing altogether. But as the director, and I know that you perform as well, Trevor, do you have a preference? Do you prefer to be a performer, or do you prefer the director? Is it a 50-50 split? Does it depend what year it is, what play it is?
Yeah, I think it's it just, you enjoy it, the two different jobs, if you like, in different ways. When you're directing it, it's great to have control of a production and the look of it and everything about it, really, about costumes and lighting and sound and things like that. And you get a great feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment at the end of the run when everything's gone really well, and you think, well, that was a great achievement, and you move on to the next thing. So that seeing something that's come out of your head, if you like, your vision, for the want of a better word, and seeing it coming alive on stage with people that you've picked and you thought would be good in the roles. And that's the other thing about directing, is sometimes you see something in someone in another production, and you think, oh, he'd be really, and you like to try and develop people, and maybe who haven't had a lot of experience in the past, and use them in a new production, and develop them if you can, and develop what you see in them. Because sometimes you see things in people, and you instinctively know that they have greater skill than they've maybe showed up till now, and that's part of the job of the director, is to bring that out in people. And then obviously the actual performing itself is fulfilling in a different way, because you only have yourself to worry about in that particular instance, and you to concentrate on creating a character and once you get the costume on, the shoes and everything that go together to make the character, it's great fun to develop that, and when you do different roles, you can it gives you an opportunity to be a different person, and to try and show versatility if you have it.
And given that this was originally a stage play, but then it became a Hitchcock film, will you be doing a Hitchcock-esque cameo appearance at some stage, or are you not giving anything away about
Well,
that?
it's funny you should mention that, Tom, because I do appear
Oh, well,
in
there
the
we go.
production, but not as you might think.
Oh, well, that leads us nicely into telling everybody how can you go and see this. Well, Dial M for Murder runs at the Florians Theatre, which is down the Buck Park. If you head towards the caravan park in the Aquadome here in Inverness, you'll see it's a lovely building, lovely big sign on the side of it. And Dial M for Murder is running from Wednesday the 3rd until Saturday the 6th of September. Tickets are available at florians.org.uk. Also check out their social media as well, where you get nice sweet updates and no doubt some behind the scenes glimpses on the lead up to it. And also the pantomime is listed on the website, so you can go and have a look and get an idea of what's coming up later on in this year. In fact, next September show is listed as well, but you'll need to come back and tell us about that. And as always, the Florians are always welcome. So thank you so much for coming in to see us. I hope the play goes well, because you're not allowed to say certain phrases, so I'm not going to do that. But do come along and see us again, and have a great performance and a great run. And all the best. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot,
Thank you very
Tom.
much.
You're listening to your Saturday Drop-In. We're into the second hour. If you need to know the time, it's 3 minutes past 1 on Saturday, the 16th of August. I'm still struggling to get back. The schools are back on Monday. Tuesday, sorry. And do you know, Karen, do you still get nerves? Because Karen, for those that don't know, used to be a head teacher in the Highland area. Do you still get nerves at this time of year, and then you have to remind yourself, no, I don't need to go back to work anymore? Is it all gone, is it?
No. It went that
how long
summer.
did it take?
Not
How
long.
long did it take?
Not long. I actually look forward to the kids going back. It's not terrible,
Well-
because the places I like to go are quieter. So
true.
sad.
I'll be honest,
So sad.
I think the kids look forward to going back as well, because I know my two are sort of looking forward to getting back to a bit of routine, seeing their friends as well, and starting their new classes. And
I miss the kids. That's the one thing I really miss, is the kids.
but not the job.
No, not at all.
Well, retirement must be lovely. I can't wait for it. One day. Now, still in the studio with us here is our friends from the Florians Theatre, and they are going to join in, hopefully, with a little game that we like to play every week here on the Saturday Drop-In. We like to keep it simple. You see, Shannon and I, we're very simple people, and we can only really do a quiz where it's a 50-50 chance. So quizzes where the answer is either this or that, and therefore we have the game This or That. It's a quiz where we'll give you a wee clue, and it's one of two answers, and it's quite simple. You just need to decide which one it is. Now, because we've got the Florians with us, I have come up with a 10-item quiz this week, which is all centred around stage and screen. I'm going to give you the name of 10 films, and we're going to try and guess, were they films first or did they hit the stage first? So, was it the stage first or the screen first? Well, I think I filled in enough while I was filling in the spreadsheet for who's playing. Which means we're ready to go. Is everybody happy? Is everybody ready to play? Let's go. So, number one is a 1949 Alfred Hitchcock film, and it's called Rope. It starred James Stewart. And the question is, did that hit the stage first, or was it screen first? It's Rope, 1949 film, Alfred Hitchcock. Was it the stage first?
I think it was a stage play first.
So we've got a stage for.
I was going to say stage just because ours was.
Has Tom deliberately put this in to show you?
I'm going to go screen.
Andy's going screen.
I'll go screen as well.
So it was stage first. It was actually from the 1920s, the original production. So I'm afraid it's big X's going in next to Andy and Karen for that one. Next, with songs like It's a Hard Knock Life and It's Always On at Christmas, it's Annie. Did Annie come onto the screen first, or was it the stage first? What do we think? Has anybody done Annie?
I have.
Yeah.
Well, so therefore Alison knows
Alison
the
should
answer.
know, and if she doesn't know, then
Well,
I don't know, but I think it was.
Where's the
screen.
research for the part, you know? So you're saying, sorry, Alison?
Screen.
Alison's gone screen. Trevor?
I'll say stage, just
Just for fun.
just to mix things up.
I'm pretty sure it was screen.
You've gone screen for Andy and Karen.
I'll go screen as well.
It hit the stage first. It was a
Well
stage show
done.
first of all. There you go. And it was adapted into the movie version. Oh, I'm quite pleased with that. Number 3, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. Some good songs from that one. Again, I should ask, has anybody done that one yet? Have you done 7
I
Brides for
haven't
7
done
Brothers?
it, but
I haven't, but I saw it when Starlight did it a few
Mm-hmm.
years ago.
it was definitely on the screen first.
Trevor saying definitely on the screen.
Yeah.
Do you believe you directed,
Yeah,
Andy?
Screen.
Screen, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go screen.
Everybody's gone straight, and you're correct to go screen. Yes, it was indeed. Number 4, I've got Grease. Now, Grease. Oh, Alison gasped at that one.
She's done that as well.
Oh, another one that you have done. Was it on the stage first, or was it on the screen first?
I'm gonna go stage.
Yeah, it was stage first.
Stage.
Stage.
You're just going with it?
I'm just going with them.
Yeah, sounds good. If anybody's going to know, they're going, yes, indeed, it was the stage
The
first.
only reason
Well
I
done,
thought
yeah.
that was because when I did it, I wasn't blonde, and it was quite controversial. But everyone was like, "You only think you should be blonde because
Olivia Newton-John.
Olivia Newton-John was blonde." But then they were like, "But it was on stage before Olivia Newton-John
Yep,
did
exactly,
it."
yeah. But it's again, that goes back to how the influence of the film sort of overtakes the sort of original elements of when it's on a
I
stage.
think Richard Gere was in the stage production.
Oh, now I'll be honest, I haven't got that in my notes, but I'd have to. We can do some live googling. Oh, we'll come back to it. We'll come back. But so far, that was it. 4. We're on to number 5 next, the halfway point, and it is Groundhog Day. Now we'll probably know the film starring Bill Murray, but did that hit the stage first, or was it screen first?
Screen.
We've gone
Yeah, I'm going to go
Alison's got
screen as well.
Oh, we've got
Yeah, I
2
would
screens.
definitely say
I
it
think
was
the
all
musical's
screen.
quite new, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fairly new.
Ah, no, that's the
Oh,
musical
but
adaptation.
is there a play?
Mm.
Oh, that's
No, there isn't. I'm just winding you up. Yeah, the musical version of the story opened in August 2016 at the Old Vic Theatre in London. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know any of the songs from Groundhog Day, the
No,
musical.
neither.
And you were
I
saying
don't
that
think it was a massive hit.
well, exactly. Yeah, we're not really hearing a lot about it. It is listed on the site. It closed due to the COVID pandemic. Nothing down to numbers. It was unfortunately the pandemic that brought that production to a close and hasn't brought it back. But I think when we go down the route of heavily contrived, I think when you're
It's
having
a favourite film of mine, though. I love that film.
great film, absolutely, yeah. But there's some really good fan theories, which when you get these people that go into it a bit much, and the guy Phil, who's his friend, who's trying to sell, is he the devil? And there's well worth a look, but you'll be in a rabbit hole. Don't do it before the performance of Dial M for Murder, because you'll never get back out in time. So that's us on 5, and at the moment, so far,
I'm
Trevor-
last.
Well, no.
I
To be
am.
fair, you're joint last with Andy. So Trevor is currently on 100%. Alison, you've only dropped 1 mark so far. As we go into the second half, number 6 is A Few Good Men. Of course, famous for the "You Can't Handle the Truth" speech, which Tom Cruise gives. Stage or screen for
Is it
A
not
Few Good
based on a book?
Men?
Is it based on a Grisham book?
Yeah, but where did
So,
it go after the
I
book?
think
We'll go
it's
stage.
probably
I think s-
film. Screen.
We've
Screen.
got a stage from Alison, a screen.
Stage.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go screen.
So so Karen saying screen and Trevor saying screen. Trevor has dropped his 100%.
Oh.
Can you believe it? It hit the stage first. Number 7, I've seen both and absolutely love it. It's one of my, one of these ones you might not admit to, but I'll admit to it. Hairspray. I love Hairspray, and I will sing along to it from start to finish. But the question is, was it on the stage first, or was it on the screen first? Oh, this one.
I'm going with
there's-
stage.
I'm going to go stage, I think.
Stage.
I think it was a film. I think it was screen first, and then it was adapted afterwards. for
It
the
was.
stage.
It was screen first. Yes. So that's right. It's one of the. You would think that was probably like a classic, on the stage, and then
Was
moved
it
on to
not
the screen.
Ricky Lake was in the original film.
No, in the film. Now I've got Nikki Blonsky in my head. I don't know if Ricky. I'd have to go and look that one up. Is the honest answer. I don't have that written down on my bit of paper. But it wouldn't be the first time I've been very wrong about something. But we'll go and have a look. Number 8 is Mean Girls.
Film.
Mean Girls. This
Best
goes back
scene.
into the early noughties. In fact, I think this might have come out in the mystery year by just sheer coincidence. Mean Girls, stage
I've never
or
seen it.
screen?
I'm going screen.
I think it's probably screen. I would think. I don't
Screen.
know.
I'll go screen as well.
It's all screen, and you're all correct to say that. Yeah, it was screen. It's been recently adapted into the stage, but yeah, the original screen was it was 2004, same as our mystery year. Only 2 more to go, and Trevor. Well, no, Alison can still catch Trevor here, so it's close. And Andy and Karen are playing as well, which is nice. Number 9.
Somebody's got to be at the bottom.
Exactly.
I've
How
got
are
big
you doing,
shoulders.
Tom?
Well, again, being the guy who writes it,
100%,
I'm on 100%. No, I'll be honest. When I was doing the research last night, I got far more wrong than what you guys have got wrong. Number 9 is The Sound of Music. Was that stage first or screen first? Again, another one that you've done, I'm
Yeah.
assuming, Alison.
Yeah.
Did it last year.
I think it's stage.
I'm going to go stage,
Yeah,
I
it
think.
was stage first.
Stage.
It's
Rex
got
Harrison, was it? Was he in it?
no, it's what's his name?
Or was Rex Harrison
Christopher
in the film?
Plummer.
Yeah.
Christopher. Sound of Music, did you say?
Sound of Music,
Yeah,
yeah.
He's in the film.
Yeah, he's in the film. Yeah, he
He's in the
plays.
film, but no, it was
what was it?
originally it's Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely,
stage.
yep. You're right, it's a stage. Yep. So it's the last question. Alison, you can just draw with Trevor at the moment, I'm afraid. It's Billy Elliot to finish off with. Billy Elliot, was that stage first or screen first?
Screen.
Oh, I think I've picked a good one to finish with. We've got screen. Andy's come in with screen right away.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, folks, based on his track record, do you want to agree with him?
I think it was screen. He's got some right.
I'm going to go stage because then either Trevor and I will draw or he'll get ahead because we're picking a different
I'll say
answer.
screen. So.
I'll say stage for the same reason because I'm last at the moment. But if I get it right,
And-
then we'll be
And
tired.
Andy it was
Screen.
Well, Andy, well done. It
Ah.
is indeed. Which means that Trevor will score a 9 out of 10 as our
Ooh,
winner
wow,
of this
well
week's
done.
This or That. Indeed. I mean, with someone who's been involved in musical theatre and drama for as long as you have,
Yes.
quite right. But as
Many
I would say,
years.
Alison, as someone who's performed in quite a lot of these shows, folks, thanks very much for coming in. That was a good laugh. Hope you enjoyed
Can I
yourself.
just say, I wouldn't have got any of them right that I got right unless I had those people playing their answers.
So check out florians.org.uk for tickets to go and see Dial M for Murder. Folks, please do come and see us again. It's been lovely to have you in the studio. And again, I hope everything goes well on the night and the nights from Wednesday the 3rd of September. I got my dates wrong. So that was This or That. You're listening to the Saturday Drop-In here on Highland Hospital Radio. David Bowie here on Highland Hospital Radio.
Is that your new name, David Bowie?
David Bowie.
It's David Bowie here.
Yes, hello. It's David. That was Prettiest Star here on your Saturday drop-in. It's just after 1:30 here on your Saturday afternoon, and you're here with Tom and Karen. Hello, Karen. How are
Hi,
you?
I am good, thank you. It's been a very quick hour and a half.
It flies by, doesn't it? Especially we've had some lovely guests here from the Florians. And at the moment, they're currently rating it that they found some musical theatre albums in the old vinyl collection.
They're
so
very welcome to them.
Exactly, yeah. And yeah, please, anybody who wants a free vinyl, come and see us. Now, we played it just a couple of songs ago. Well, we were too busy blethering and not paying attention. We played some Skippinish. You got to interview
Angus,
from Skippinish. How was that?
He was so lovely, such a nice gentleman.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, really enjoyed it.
Because that was backstage at Belladrum last two Saturdays ago, isn't it?
Yeah, and it was
2
actually
Saturdays
quite
ago.
nice to go backstage, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was interesting. we played the Lorettes as well. We almost had a collision with the Lorettes.
They were just about ready to get on stage.
They were still getting ready in their changing room, and we got sort of taken in to find where Angus was and kind of got left with the Lorettes getting changed besides. It was an odd moment, but you know, that's something to tell about. And they had a great set as well at Belladrum. Now, obviously Belladrum's a major music festival, of course, in the area, but it's also about the people who love Belladrum and keep going, about the charities who go along as well, and all the various different organisations and things that are available for you to see at the Tartan Heart Festival. And we were there as part of the press team, doing interviews with the musicians, with the events that were taking place, with the charities that were there. And the first of our programmes with the highlights of those interviews is tonight, and that is going to be here on Highland Hospital Radio at 6 o'clock. Some of the highlights that I can draw to you. We've got Steve, who was from Culloden. They were the family that were all done in fancy dress.
That's right, and you were so disappointed because those ladies that you interviewed and then we lost.
I know that the ladies who had we went for a walk around the campsite, and the ladies who had their matching PJs and pink fluffy slippers, and unfortunately the tape recorder didn't work for that one, I'm afraid. But we've also got Ian Terry going around the charity tent speaking to Halo, who were the official charity partner for this year's Velodrome. James Support Group as well. There's a brilliant interview with Aaron and Karen Dunbar just after she'd done her DJ set. You'll need to turn the headphones down a wee bit for that one because it was a wee bit loud. The Pigeon Detectives.
Was that Bill that did?
Yeah,
the
producer Bill got that. I've now edited it because there was a wee naughty word in it, but we've fixed that now, so it's all good. Also, we were telling you what was going on at the food court. We were picking our favourite places there while we were in the coffee queue. Lots to enjoy. So check out that tonight at 6 o'clock, and the full interview with Angus from Skippinish will be on that show.
I was
as
just
well.
saying they are number 6 at the moment in the UK charts. They're doing a charity song for, I think it is the Lifeboats. I would have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's Lifeboats, and they've been encouraging people to download their tune, and I think it's number 6 they are in the charts.
I think you're going to have a look at that. I will happily support that. Different kicks. I'd love Skippinish to be the UK number 1. I'll go back to doing my chart show again. Also, as well as that, today on Highland Hospital Radio, after our Velodrome special at 7 o'clock, Mike Goodbrand is here with the Rock and Roll Hour. All the hits from the 50s and 60s, and some modern rock and roll hits as well. At 8 o'clock, you get to take charge of Highland Hospital Radio for Live at 8, where George McKenzie is playing your requests and some of his favourite songs as well. At 9 o'clock, it's the new album show, Saturday Showcase. All the album releases for this week, David Robertson plays you the hits from those. Then we've got Rob Paulson here with World Live and Early. It's one of my favourite shows. Obviously, I can't have favourites, but it is one of them because there's no two songs the same. It is from all over the planet. A great selection of world music at 10 o'clock. Then at 11 o'clock tonight, Richard Smith, Mr. Hospital Radio himself.
I love that show.
You know what, the 80s Era Pop's a cracking show. And Richard Smith, what a lovely guy as well.
He's such a gentleman.
I've done a couple of shows with Richard. He is based in Lancashire and does a lot of work for hospital radios across the whole UK. And it's the letter C. So it's songs where the title or the artist starts with the letter C. Coming up tonight at 11.
So I made a mistake. They're number 5 in the UK charts.
Oh, goodness. Better than number 6 than number 5.
Ed Sheeran's number 3. So, yeah, they are number 5, and all proceeds going to RNLI.
Cracking. So get out yourselves onto your preferred music download site, and you'll be able to get a hold of that. Now, we'll go back to the music. Oh, well, since it is Saturday night, will we play some Saturday night?
Why not?
I don't mind it at all. It's Wakefield here on Highland Hospital Radio. Saturday night, well, we had Whatever Happened to Saturday Night earlier on. There's Saturday night, and I've already told you what's happening on Saturday night here on Highland Hospital Radio. So it's a triple whammy. We were just saying, what was the year that came out? I reckon 95. Karen, what was your view?
I think 94.
So I'm looking it up just now.
I just know because I was on holiday in Mallorca in 94.
I knew it was going to be some reference to, I was on holiday and that was the song.
And it was on.
It says here released in 1992. Here on the super duper computer, but I reckon it was probably a couple of years later. It was like it came out in that year, then we all went on our holidays in 93 and heard it, then it became a hit in the UK in 94.
It might have been a hit in 92, but they were still playing it in Mallorca in 94.
Certifications, it is 2 times platinum. There is 1.18 million verified sales of Saturday Night by Wakefield. And our artist for this week's Beat Detective...
Was she not at McMurray this year or last year?
Was Wakefield at McMurray? Do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised because the McMurray Festival seems to get all the brilliant 80s and 90s bands and acts. So I would...
Yeah.
Well, while Karen does that, I'll tell you that it's time for Beat Detective. Yes, on Beat Detective, we're telling you what the name what is the last song on this week's edition of the Saturday Drop-In, and you're only just over 15 minutes away from it. I can't believe it. Time flies by. So what we do is we have the super duper computer. It picks the last song of the show. Once it does that, we come up with some cryptic clues to help you try and guess what the song is. So this week, we have got your artist and song as follows. Your artist made up of 2 words, and it says, when it comes to saints, I think this artist's favourites were the patron saint of England and the famous M&S brand. So when it comes to saints, I think this artist's favourites were the patron saint of England and the famous M&S brand. That's to identify your artist. And your song is, with 2 words, reckless aerated chocolate. Reckless aerated chocolate. Now, if you think you know the answer there, drop us a wee line, studio@hhr.scot, or you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram as well. You can also go and see the clue again if you'd like to hear it again, and drop your answers there. We're going to go into a song by the Stylistics now, and when we come back, another couple of tracks, and then we'll wrap up today's show. Goodness, how are we going to fit it all in? And you're back here on the Saturday Drop-In with Tom and Karen here on Highland Hospital Radio. Now, very sadly this week we got some very bad news about one of our long-standing presenters here on Highland Hospital Radio. It came through on Friday morning that Sunday Cayley host Graham Wilson had sadly passed away suddenly on Thursday into Friday. And we just wanted to pause for a moment and just express our sadness and shock that the news came through, and also our condolences to Graham's wife Kay, his children, his grandchildren. What a really... I'm kind of lost for words. I put some notes down, and we put a wee message out yesterday.
We knew Graham was unwell, but we thought he was on the mend.
Absolutely. It was a couple of weeks ago here on the Saturday Drop-In. He was messaging in because he was upstairs here at Rigmore.
He was very, very positive about the care he was receiving.
Oh, do you know, he was talking about how he was causing nightmares for the nurses, and I can imagine what he would have been like. If you ever listened to Graham's shows, you'd know what the sense of humour was like. But he was a really positive and upbeat person, and he had been given a diagnosis, but it was still quite a positive situation. There was, a lot of positives to look forward to.
And he did a lot. I remember Helen telling me that he used to take all their stuff and put it in for the HBA, and he did so much work for the station when he was here.
That's correct. 30 years he was a member of Highland Hospital Radio, or as it was Inverness Hospital Radio, from 1994 onwards. He took a wee step back from doing his show every Sunday, just the situation that he was in at the time.
He still had a presence online.
Absolutely, yes. Now, he was quite an innovator in that sense, actually, because during lockdown, he did lots of stuff on Facebook. He did lots of new compositions, and he performed them live as a Facebook Live, as a sort of way of entertaining people during the lockdown. He was one of the early people to start, recording shows and putting them on to listen again.
Talented musician.
Very talented, writing lots of stuff, performer as well, singer. His sense of humour, his jokes, were terrible, but they were so funny as well. When I was at work yesterday in my proper job, and the phone was pinging, so I knew something had happened, and had a wee check during my break, and all the members on Highland Hospital Radio were on a WhatsApp chat, and everybody was just really shocked and sad, and the one thing that kept coming up was the Panto Dame.
Yes, he was so... I think that was the first time I met Graham.
It probably would have been. The nature of what we do here on Hospital Radio is very rarely do we actually get to see everybody. We all do our own little things. Also, we're slightly different on Saturdays. We see different people, and from my role within the Hospital Radio, and you yourself, Karen, we probably see a lot more people. But yeah,
I've communicated with him, but never actually met him face to face. But he was so funny.
It was. So during that pantomime session, we had the scripts in front of us, and we sort of assigned roles, and Graham said, "Oh, I'll do the dame." And he started with a voice. We just opened the mics, and he did the first read through, and the voice he came out with was just, that's it. It kind of set the tone after that. Well, I think we had to stop and redo it again because we were all laughing so that much.
Yeah.
Whenever he was in touch, he was telling me jokes and stuff on WhatsApp, and he loved a bit of sort of amateur astronomy.
Yes,
he loved
pictures.
taking. He had like the space telescope, and he would. But he connected it to his iPhone. He explained how it all worked, and he was taking some really stunning photographs of the sky at night. And
he was very good with technology.
Yeah, he was absolutely
much better than me.
Yes, and again, he was one of the innovators about getting people to listen again to shows. And the thing is, as much as Graham sadly passed away, the thing that we have is you've got all these shows that you can go listen to whenever you want, be it on the Highland Hospital Radio Listen Again site, Graham's own page. So if you go and do a search for Graham's Sunday Ceilidh, you'll either get the stuff that's on our site or the stuff that's on his own on Facebook as well. You can see old clips and music. So we're very sad that Graham sadly passed away, and again, very suddenly. We weren't expecting it at all. And I know there's a lot of people who've worked with him for a lot longer on Hospital Radio who miss him very much. And most importantly of all, his listeners. He was a very well liked person from the listenership as well. So we're, again, very, very sorry that he's passed away. And we, again, certainly us two here today, but as myself in my role as being the chair of the charity, on behalf of us all, we pass on our very sincere condolences to Graham's family. And again, that's been echoed on the social media site as well, that people have posted their messages as well. So we're going to play a wee bit of Nathan Carter here at Caledonia, and we'll play this for Graham. Well, that was Caledonia, Nathan Carter. Now, it's time for the answer that you've all been waiting for. It's the answer to this week's Beat Detective. Now, Karen, you did get it.
I did get it.
So you're quite pleased, aren't you?
Yep, because I haven't got it for the last fortnight.
I thought this was relatively simple. If you didn't get the artist, I'd like to think you would have got the song. Okay? I'll say that.
Well, I got the artist first.
Yeah, you did well. Well. So we'll play a wee bit of the song after we tell you. So the artist, 2 words. When it comes to saints, I think this artist's favourites were the patron saint of England and the famous M&S brand. So who's the patron saint of England, Karen?
St George.
And the famous M&S brand?
St Michael.
So that gives you George Michael. Reckless, aerated chocolate.
Well, it was Careless that got me the answer. Careless Whisper.
It's Careless Whisper. So that's all from us for this week. If you're listening in the words, get well soon. We hope you get home, and don't forget to take Highland Hospital Radio with you at hr.scot or ask your smart speaker. Thanks very much for coming in, Karen. Nice
Thank
to see
you
you.
very much. I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah, it's been grand, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye. So folks, that was this week's edition of the Saturday Drop-In. Thank you very much for taking the time to download and listen in with us. We had a great time, didn't we, Karen?
Yeah, weren't our guests amazing?
They were very good. It's great when we've got sort of stage performers coming on, because they're not shy about talking on a microphone, and they just blether, and it was really good.
Yeah, I'm going to go home and see if I can manage to go and see their show, Delta M for Murder.
Absolutely. Once again, florians.org.uk. That's FLORIANS.org.uk. Shannon is back next week after her couple of weeks off. She'll be telling us about what she's been up to, I'm sure. I'll be here as always. But until then, have a lovely week. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.